The morning sun glinted off Lake Michigan, painting Chicago's skyline gold as I adjusted my navy tie in the elevator of Harlan Enterprises' downtown office. At 32, I was lean, with a smile that disarmed clients and eyes that lit up when I dove into marketing strategy, my mind always 3 steps ahead. 8 years ago, I had walked into this building as a nervous intern, a kid in a cheap suit with big dreams. Now, in May 2025, I was the star account manager, the guy who'd turned Apex Solutions' campaign into a business school legend, a master at closing deals that made competitors sweat. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Elena, my venture capitalist sister, her text sharp with tough love. "You got this, little bro. Senior director's yours. Don't screw it up," I grinned, her words warming me. Elena always pushed me to aim higher, even when we bickered. Today, I'd prove her right and claim the future I'd earned. The elevator dinged, and I stepped onto the 20th floor, my polished shoes clicking on the marble. The office buzzed like a hive. Phones ringing, interns scurrying with coffee trays, screens flashing ad mock-ups and analytics dashboards. Colleagues nodded as I passed, some with envy in their eyes. I'd closed million-dollar deals others couldn't touch, earning the trust of clients like Sarah Martinez, whose Apex Solutions brought in $2 million a year for Harlan Enterprises. Just last week, CEO Richard Harlan had called me indispensable at the quarterly meeting, his meaty hand clapping my shoulder in front of everyone. That memory fueled me as I headed for the glass-walled conference room, clutching a folder of notes I'd spent weeks perfecting. The senior director role was mine. 6 figures, a corner office, a real stake in the company I'd helped build through late nights and client dinners. I'd earned every inch of it. The conference room door swung open before I could knock, the motion abrupt, jarring. Richard Harlan stood there, a stocky man in his 50s with a fake tan that clashed with his silver hair and a smile that never reached his cold, calculating eyes. His tailored suit screamed money, but his demeanor screamed control. Every gesture meant to dominate. "Daniel," he said, his voice clipped, lacking the warmth he'd faked last week. "Come in." My pulse quickened, a faint unease stirring in my gut. Behind Harlan, a lanky kid in a baggy suit lounged against the table, smirking like he'd just won a private bet. Maybe 25, with slicked back hair and cufflinks so gaudy they belonged in a museum. He was a stranger, but that smirk, sharp, entitled, predatory, set my nerves on edge, a warning I couldn't place. "Take a seat," Harlan said, flicking his wrist toward a leather chair. I sat, my folder unopened in my lap, the weight of my notes suddenly feeling like a shield I might need. Harlan didn't sit. He leaned against the table, arms crossed, radiating authority, while the kid kept smirking, his eyes glinting with amusement. The air felt heavy, wrong, like the moment before a storm hits. "Daniel," Harlan began, his tone flat as concrete. "This is Trevor, my nephew. He's taking over your role." The words slammed into me like a sucker punch, stealing my breath. I blinked, my mouth dry, my mind scrambling. "Taking over? What?" My voice sounded distant. Not mine, not the guy who'd poured 8 years into this place. Harlan's eyes flicked to Trevor, then back to me, unyielding. "You're fired. Effective immediately. Business decision." He slid a document across the table, the paper stark against the polished wood, its edges crisp and menacing. "Sign this non-compete and we'll release your final paycheck. Don't make this difficult." My heart pounded, a frantic drumbeat drowning out the room's hum. Fired? After 8 years of bringing in millions, working weekends, skipping vacations? I'd been loyal, the guy who stayed late to fix campaigns, who flew cross-country for client handshakes, who made Harlan Enterprises a name clients trusted. "Why?" I choked out, my voice cracking, raw with betrayal. "I've given everything to this company. I deserve an explanation, Richard." "Family comes first," Harlan cut in, his smile gone, replaced by a hard stare. "Trevor's got fresh ideas. We're moving in a new direction." He nodded to his nephew, who adjusted his cufflinks with a flourish, that smirk never fading, like my ruin was his personal entertainment. "No hard feelings, Danny," Trevor said, his voice dripping with mock sympathy that made my skin crawl. "Gotta keep things in the family, you know." My fists clenched under the table, nails digging into my palms, the pain grounding me. Danny. No one called me that, and the nickname stung like a slap, a jab to belittle me. I wanted to lunge, wipe that smirk off Trevor's face, send those cufflinks flying, but I stayed still, my breath shallow. My eyes darted to the non-compete, words blurring under the fluorescent lights. 1 year, no marketing, no client contact, a death sentence for my career, meant to erase me. This isn't right, I said, my voice low, trembling with rage. 8 years, Richard. I brought in Apex, closed deals no one else could. I've earned more than this. Harlan's jaw tightened, irritation flashing across his face, like my defiance was an inconvenience. You've earned what I say you've earned. Sign the paper, or you walk away with nothing. Your call. The room spun, the glass walls closing in. I saw my life crumbling, my apartment, my bills, my reputation. I had $1,200 in savings, rent due in 2 weeks. No job meant no options in Chicago's cutthroat market. My hand shook as I grabbed the pen, scrawling my name, the ink scratch a betrayal of everything I'd built. The pen felt like a knife in my own hand. Good choice, Harlan said, snatching the document, his voice cold. Clear your desk, Trevor will walk you out. Humiliation burned as I packed my office, Trevor leaning against the doorframe, scrolling on his phone. Smirking like this was just another Tuesday. Colleagues peeked over cubicles, whispering, their eyes avoiding mine. 8 years of camaraderie, shared coffees, late-night wins, inside jokes, gone. I stuffed photos, notebooks, and a chipped coffee mug into a cardboard box, each item a piece of my identity. When I grabbed my Employee of the Year award from 2023, a cheap plaque that meant everything, Trevor snorted. Won't need that where you're going, Danny, he muttered, not looking up. By noon I stood on the sidewalk, Chicago's wind biting my face, the city's hustle mocking my collapse. My box felt heavier than it should, the non-compete burning in my pocket. I hailed a cab I couldn't afford, the driver's radio blaring as my mind replayed Harlan's cold eyes, Trevor's smirk. At home, in a cramped apartment smelling of stale coffee, I dropped the box and sank onto the couch, its springs creaking. My phone buzzed, Elena. I ignored it, her warnings about Harlan, the snake she'd seen through, too painful to face. I was jobless, broke, alone, the weight of 8 years crushing me. Days blurred into despair. I sent resumes, but Harlan's rumors, unreliable, burned out, poisoned the industry. Recruiters' pity stung worse than rejection. The non-compete blocked marketing, my only skill. I sold my car for $3,000, enough for a month's rent and bills. Meals became ramen, the salty taste bleak as my future. Sleep was haunted by Trevor's cufflinks glinting, a symbol of everything I'd lost. Elena called daily, her voicemails piling up. You're better than this, Daniel, she'd say, frustration and faith mixed. I deleted them, too raw to hear her. At my lowest, I sat on the floor, unpaid bills, electric, internet, rent around me, my bank account at $900, eviction looming. I'd given Harlan everything, and he'd handed my work to a kid who couldn't spell strategy. One sleepless night, my laptop's glow was my only light. Scrolling old emails to escape the spiral, I froze at a message from Sarah Martinez, sent 6 months ago. Daniel, why are our invoices 30% higher than quoted? I need answers. I'd forwarded it to Harlan, who dismissed it as a clerical error. I'd trusted him, moved on. Now, it clicked. I dug into backed-up client files, my heart racing. Apex was billed $50,000 a quarter for campaigns worth half that, the extra siphoned off. Smaller clients were hit too. Harlan was running a scam, skimming profits, delivering garbage that tarnished my campaigns. Rage burned, replacing despair. Harlan hadn't just betrayed me, he was betraying everyone, clients like Sarah who'd trusted my honesty. They believed in me, not Harlan, not Trevor's empty cufflinks. I couldn't solicit clients, but I could talk, plant seeds. I emailed Sarah, hey, been a while. Hope Harlan's treating you right. My heart pounded as I hit send, a spark in the dark. Sarah's text came at 2 a.m. Call me, now. As Apex's VP, she controlled a $2 million budget, and I'd been her guy. I dialed, nerves electric. Daniel, she snapped. Harlan's invoicing $50,000 over budget and our ads are tanking. I trusted you. I'm not with Harlan, I said, careful. They fired me. They're overcharging, and it's no mistake. Her bitter laugh cut through. That kid Trevor dodges questions like a coward. What are you doing now? Starting something, I said, steady despite the adrenaline. Fair prices, real results. If I send a plan, will you look? Tomorrow, she said. Blow me away. I had a laptop and a folding table in Marcus Reed's garage, a space reeking of motor oil. Marcus, a 28-year-old tech whiz, had quit Harlan after Trevor stole his analytics tool. He sprawled on a ratty couch, cracking a Red Bull. You're nuts. He said, "A company here?" "With your brain and my charm," I grinned. "Sarah's in. We need a pitch." "The non-compete's a guillotine," he warned. "It's got holes," I said. Sarah came to me. Marcus grabbed a printer. "We need Layla." Layla Chen, 30, was my protege, a fierce strategist who'd stayed at Harlan but hated Trevor. I called, "I'm building a firm. Sarah's in? You with us?" Trevor called me sweetie. She spat. "I'm in." Kane Innovations was born in that garage, named for my defiance. Flickering lights, a whiteboard, pizza boxes, our war room. Layla arrived, eyes blazing. "No half measures," she said. We built a pitch. Marcus's AI analytics, Layla's bold ads, my transparency. By 3 a.m., we emailed Sarah a 20-page deck. Her reply, incredible. $200,000 for year one. The garage erupted, Marcus spraying Red Bull, Layla high-fiving me. But the grind was brutal. 16-hour days, a crashing server, my bank account at $200. I skipped meals, my stomach growling. We landed PowerPulse, a gym chain, for $20,000. But Harlan fought back. He slashed Apex's prices, offering Sarah a 20% discount. Trevor posted on X, "Kane Innovations is a scam." A restaurant client bailed after Harlan's threats. At a dive bar, Layla slammed her beer, neon lights glowing red. "He's scared." "He should be," I said, doubt gnawing. PowerPulse's campaign glitched, ads hitting retirees. We fixed it in 48 sleepless hours, but Marcus slumped. "Harlan's gonna bury us." "We win," I said, voice steel. My phone buzzed. "Priya Anand, NextGen CEO. Need a campaign that pops. Can you deliver?" NextGen was huge. AI, venture-backed. We went all in. Marcus's analytics tracked ads in real time. Layla's campaign screamed neon visuals. I sold transparency. We rented a conference room, me selling my dad's watch for $500. Priya, 40s, stared like a hawk. "Impress me." We delivered. Marcus's demo, Layla's ad, my pitch. "Harlan pitched last week," Priya said. Trevor babbled about yachts. "Why trust you?" "We don't lie," I said. "Harlan overcharges. We build partnerships." Priya smiled. $500,000. Don't screw up. NextGen's campaign went viral. 10 million X views in a week. Priya sent champagne. "You're the real deal." A brewery signed for $50,000, a fitness app for $80,000. By month 8, we had 6 clients in a downtown office, Lake Michigan, glinting outside. I hired 3 staff, a designer, a copywriter, an intern who made killer coffee. Layla led creative, her campaigns sharp. Marcus built the beast, our new server, geeking out over its power. Our banter filled the office, unlike Harlan's sterile cubicles. Every win was a jab at him. Harlan panicked. Clients defected. Apex, PowerPulse, bigger fish. He sued, claiming I breached the non-compete, demanding $1 million. Panic hit. Marcus muttered about bankruptcy. Layla cursed, ready to storm Harlan's office. My stomach twisted, memories of the firing flooding back. "He's scared," I said. "It's a bluff." Emily Voss, a pro bono lawyer, stepped in after reading about NextGen. "I hate bullies," she grinned. In court, she tore into Trevor, his smirk gone as she pressed, "Did you approve inflated invoices?" He stammered. "Maybe," his face red. The judge tossed the case, saying, "This smells like fraud," sparking a state investigation. Headlines screamed, "Chicago firm's fraud." Trevor's X smears, doctored screenshots backfired when I shared NextGen's data. We don't hide. 2 clients signed. A hacking attempt on our server, likely Harlan's doing, failed thanks to Marcus's firewalls. "He's losing it," Marcus said, patching the beast. Elena invested $1 million after a coffee meetup, her faith grounding me. "Build something epic," she said. By month 12, we had 15 employees, a sleek office, and a Forbes feature looming. The Forbes article dropped. From fired to founder, how I built a $10 million empire. It trended on X, calling me a hero. He turned betrayal into a revolution. Sarah's quote, "Daniel's a partner," stung Harlan, barely mentioned. A tech firm signed for $300,000, a fashion brand for $200,000. Elena texted a crown, scrappy. Harlan's empire collapsed. Auditors uncovered fraud, clients fled, stock tanked. Trevor begged for gigs on X, cufflinks gone, his bio a joke. Harlan Enterprises lost 60% of its accounts, headlines screaming disgrace. Then, Harlan called, voice hollow. "Daniel, let's merge. Corner office, equity." My jaw clenched, memories flooding. His smile, Trevor's smirk. My team grounded me. "You fired me," I said, voice ice. "You lied, sued, hacked my server. I'm too busy hiring, Richard." I hung up. The office erupted. Layla gaping, Marcus whooping, interns cheering. I grinned, Harlan's weight gone. His firm was sold for pennies by July 2025. He retired, mansion sold, yacht gone. Trevor flopped at startups. We soared, opening a Manhattan office, Layla and Marcus as partners. Alina's investment fueled London plans. I launched a scholarship for underdogs. Betrayal's a teacher. 2 years later, I keynoted a San Francisco conference, 1,000 cheering. Sarah clapped, Layla and Marcus backstage. Betrayal can break you, I said, or fuel you. I built trust, a legacy. The crowd roared. Harlan was a ghost, I was a legend.